Welcome back, viewers, to the Crypto Terminal. It's your favorite host, the Dozecoin King. Today we're going to discuss Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about how ProShares Bitcoin Futures ETF BitO just debuted on the market and raked in over $500 million in its first trading day. I actually bought 2 shares myself, and I'm going to see what happens. Why not? They actually had $1 billion worth of volume for the entire day, but they actually held on to $570 million. Yes, $570 million, which is wonderful. Most of this was driven by retail investors, which actually is a very beautiful thing because it's showing that a lot of people who were not buying Bitcoin directly have decided to purchase these futures ETF because it's a lot less risky. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. To be honest, that is actually very smart, especially if you do not have a lot of money to lose, because buying a cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, anything can happen and you can lose all of your money. That's not good. Now, today Bitcoin is up. It broke all-time highs, the 64,000, 65,000. I actually did not have my eye on it all day, but I've been hearing people talk about it, and I saw all the articles online, so that is wonderful. Hopefully it holds and it continues to just break through and hold, because you don't want to see it come up and down at this point with all the institutions and people who are really getting into Bitcoin. You want to see a little bit more stability in Bitcoin. Now, the beautiful thing is that this ETF is the first of its kind in the US. I'm just going to read a little bit here of the article. The first of its kind in the US, the ProShares ETF offers investors the opportunity to gain exposures to returns of Bitcoin with the ease of buying an ETF in a brokerage account. What that means is that people who have like TD Ameritrade and Robinhood and E-Trade, that's another good one, Charles Schwab, those traditional brokerage accounts, those accounts are what your dad, or my dad, I guess, types of folks would be using, because that is more traditional of an account, like a checking account or a savings account. Exchanges are very new in the form of cryptocurrency. You know that they have been around in malls and in airports for people to go and exchange their different currency when they're moving around. Cryptocurrency is that times 1,000. So kudos to them. Their ticker symbol is BITO. BITO, if you want to go and check that out and maybe buy a few shares. I bought around $40 today. Hey, let's see what happens. Now, there is a really wonderful thing that's going on where this is the first of its kind. It is definitely not the last, because there's about 7 others that are trying to get approval, which that can come at any day now, and then they'll be on the market. And I mean, it's just crazy the amount of money that's coming in. I really doubt that they would have $500 million net in assets by the end of the trading day like BitO did, but I mean, see what happens. So that's pretty much what's going on with Bitcoin. Apart from, I did notice also, which is great, this is wonderful news, Grayscale filed with the SEC to convert its Bitcoin trust into an ETF. Grayscale is like a hedge fund with tons of money, and they want to convert a trust into an ETF. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I mean, these people when big money people want to do other things that are, want to convert it, like, I don't know. It's just it means something with Bitcoin is very important, like that they're gonna do that. So that's really exciting for people who like Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, because as you know, Bitcoin is king when it comes in crypto. If you're a Dogecoin fan, Ethereum fan, SHIB fan, Cardano fan, anything, it all starts with Bitcoin. So let's be nice to the Bitcoin lovers. I'm one of them, especially. Now, there's not really too much else revolving around Bitcoin, and I want to just keep this video about Bitcoin. Right now, we are at a market cap of 1.2 billion, and we are up 15% over the last week with the trading volume of $37 billion. 37,435,395,978 has been traded in Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, with a circulating supply of 18,848,781 Bitcoin. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing that it's growing and growing and growing. Let's, take a moment to really process what's going on, because Bitcoin was honestly just a thing a few years ago, and most people really couldn't care less about it. I had some, to be honest, but I sold it. I believe I bought it was over 10,000. It was around 10,000. I sold after holding for a little bit. That's when like Cash App and stuff was trying to do it and all that. And it had its spike. That was because of the halvening. And I want people to also remember that Bitcoin had a halvening about 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Well, there was a Bitcoin halvening in like 2016 or 17. The price like skyrocketed to like $16,000, and then it just absolutely tanked. And in that tanking time, that's when a lot of people, including myself, paper hands and left Bitcoin. But I know that people who were in it from before that, they just like Dozecoin, they were like, man, this thing is like, yeah, definitely going places. So for my Doge fans, we are really in the same place as the early Bitcoiners, in my opinion, because in that time it went up so high and then it came down and so many people left, and it took years until practically the next halvening, which was this time mixed with the whole Corona thing and everything. But the halvening did occur right after the government shutdown, and I was in already, and it was great, because just like how months later when Dogecoin held on to its value, Bitcoin held on to its value, and I was like, okay, this might be the turn where it's going to actually hit that corner and start really moving. And it did. And I feel like Dogecoin will do the same thing. The next Bitcoin halvening is going to be in 2024. And that, my friends, is not too long from now. It is the end of 2021. October 20th, Halloween's coming up. Thanksgiving, Christmas flies right by. Next thing, it's New Year's 2022, and boom, we're just 2 years from the next halvening. And when that happens, it's going to be very exciting. That means Bitcoin is going to be cut in half as far as the production per block. So for example, from the beginning of this video to right now, there has been 10 Bitcoin made. Fast forward 2 years from now, we do the same video, and there's only going to be 5 Bitcoin made. So every halvening, Bitcoin halves, for those who may not know that. That's all I have for tonight. Thanks again, viewers, for stopping by the crypto terminal. Safe trading.